I also got some bruising down here for some reason. It's not this. It's just, it's part of the accident. I don't know how, but it is. Is this the one that's working right? Yeah, it is. It's gonna be hard to focus to do it with one hand. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Way better. Oh, that's nice. See what's up on the mountain. Although there's something loose in there that should not be loose. What is that? Well, it's working right. Ow. Fucking lifting my fucking shit with a broken collarbone all the way through. That's what you call a trooper. Tired collarbone broken. You can probably see. You can tell how swollen it is. Listening and monitoring something right now, actually. Like I said, military outpost, okay? Let me go see if I got some coffee. Ouch. My coffee. Shit. Sorry about that. I hope I don't look too fucked up. Doing my best. That's all I can say. Doing my best. I'm fucking, still showering. Got a broken collarbone, still broken. And just smoke a little weed and testify to some coffee. Not too much coffee right now. I already had some, so. And I got my little monitoring thing so I can see what's going on over there across the way at homie's house. He can go like this, and I can see it with this. Like he's got some good bud to smoke or something. But I ain't going to go over there if he does that because I already got weed. Actually, guys, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. But I wish I could. This thing's not that powerful. It's powerful enough to get focus. It's basically a bird watching thing. You know, a bird watching telescope. And the distances between shit over here are so far. I mean, you can get a better view of something, but that's about it. That's about it. It's not like a real telescope. It's more of just a bird watching thing. And it is cool. Now, can you get stuff that's really good when it's this small? I don't really think so, you know, because you got to have something with reasonable lens in it. Now, if you're talking about something electronic, that might be interesting. Some kind of like electronic digital heads-up display, kind of super high-tech binoculars, or I'd prefer a one-eyed thing because one of my eyes is better than the other. Yeah, but I guess with two eyes you get depth perception a little better, so you're actually supposed to use two eyes. When okay, well that was my bad. Trying to catch a coffee cup with a broken collarbone, not gonna work. I don't even know how that fucker almost dropped. I got all the coffee in it. It hurt. God, it hurt. Ouch. Motherfucker. Sorry if I'm a little boring. I'm stressing for a topic right now. I'm not really going to sit here and talk about phone music right now, but I do make a lot of music, non-copyright, straight up all the time on a fucking phone app. And it just testifies to how unreasonable people are about the shit they do, in the sense that they get all this fucking great equipment. They play the keyboards, they do this, they do that. Maybe they even use loops. They got so much shit in the fucking room to do all that with. Mixers, everything. And yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to be happy-headed, all I guess. So I shouldn't bitch. It's just so much. It's so much extra expenditure for what? Now, me, I'd buy brain synthesizers and just hook them into one motherboard. And I'd fucking be a king with just that. But I'd have to have amplification and or for studio work, recording capability. So I'd have to have a studio, be a professional studio. I'd have to have my own studio in here. I always watch cars going by here, man. If you think it's paranoid, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Homeboy is never paranoid. Although I do have a reason to react to something if it was a paranoia kind of thing. And, I guarantee it would be a reasonable thing. Well, it wouldn't be paranoid at that time. It would be great observer at that point. Yeah, that's how Wild West was won, good gunslingers and shit like that. Might as well be Florida here, but I'm on top of a mountain, so fuck Florida. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and overdo it, but mountain terrain's the best. Even if you're in England, if I was in England, I'd have to move to Wales. Eventually, I'd have to fucking move to Wales or some shit. Anywhere with height. My mindset is tribal, and a tribal mind says always be above any approaching others. So always be up a level from where they're traveling. And as well, you can avoid flash floods that way. So a lot of people don't get it. I do. But yeah, God damn, man, I think I lost a giant chunk. As a matter of fact, I got a giant chunk of hair in the bathtub. Or not in the bathtub, but near it. I threw it out. It's from hitting my head. I hit it like 3 times. It bounced like a fucking basketball. No, I wasn't going fast. It was a slow fucking skateboard thing. It was slow. I'll just repeat it. It was a slow skateboard accident. It was me trying to babysit fucking 10 kids in front of me, if not more. I don't know how many there were. There was a shitload of them. They were all fucking longboarding. So, look, people go, don't you think it's a little weird you doing all? No, I'm like, my mindset is coach-like, and I'm a mentor. And when I was young, I had people that had half 50-50 intentions. Like, yeah, they'd like to see me do a jump, but they could also see me wreck and it'd be just as interesting. And that's really how a lot of people are. But I mean, me personally, I'm just about the opposite. I don't want to see anyone get injured. I have made videos of race car drivers that have bit it, and the graphicness of it all and everything. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, we are bags of water. So when you're skateboarding, longboarding, you just can't make that kind of hard contact. You got to always try to make sure that if you do crash, all the weight and everything you do is going to go into your elbow pads and your knees. And you should not try to take care of 10 different skateboarders on a skateboard yourself. Even a professional will probably tell you that. It's like, don't do that. Well, the thing was, the kids were supposed to be back of me, and they took off without, I guess I was going to say, hey, hold up and don't go yet. And that's exactly what my plan was. But before I could get my shit together, they already took off down the street. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Cars are coming in shit. And then it goes steeper, and there's a four-way. So I was like, no, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't want kids trying to slide in front of cars and shit. So I was panicking. That's what happened. That's it. That's what happened. So I crashed low speed on not even a hill. Not even a hill. It was just, well, it was a hill, but it was barely a hill. It's almost flat. But I had speed up from a hill that I was on, but it wasn't that much. It was just barely. So what I think happened, I slipped on some gravel, and my mindset was on those kids, and I couldn't even pay attention to the aggregate that my skateboard was on. So that's what was up. I was worried about the kids more than me, and I'm glad I became the lesson. Let's put it that way. And let's finish that topic so people know that's what it was all about. It was me trying to, and it came out to where I broke a collarbone, which is good, because then the kids will see, and they are the good equipment, longboard equipment from modern day. So they're going to have good equipment. So in the meantime, if they train themselves slowly and surely to get better, they'll always be more, not necessarily all of them, but a majority of them should be the most precautious about it, because they had early knowledge and good hardware on top of it. Early knowledge, good for, that age, good hardware, not junk, not a bunch of coned out wheels and stupid ass hardware and bushings from a goddamn vert board and stupid shit like that. As long as they have the right shit, that's what matters. The hardware matters. They got to have they can't have those cone bushings for cruising, really, if they plan on going fast. They just got to figure out what they need, stick with it. I purposely made sure Abs had hard and a soft bushing on each of her trucks. She's got, what does she got? I gave her some trucks. I gave that kid some trucks because I didn't want her to have a bad skateboard. Anyway, so I gave her some trucks, really good ones too. I mean, expensive, like $60 trucks. And the only reason why I did it is because I want to make sure, man, this person has good trucks. That's simple. I don't want somebody fucking on garbage ass material that mom and dad buy them. Factory bought garbage is more likely to get them kids injured. Factory bought shit will get those kids. That's why when you buy something in a store, you like to get a name brand, right? So you go for the shit that is good. You don't just buy them some factory ass longboard and say, have fun, kids. No, that shit's unsafe. The hardware is going to be less than desirable. The wheels will probably cone out in no time. The bearings are probably, who knows what bearings they're giving you. I mean, in trucks, obviously, you're probably not even double forged trucks. So you don't even want to fuck with that shit. Factory bought, never. I mean, yeah, I bought a few factory, but it was just to scrounge a good board out of it, a good deck out of it. Like, well, not a real good deck, but a decent deck. A deck that's going to be decent. And I basically gave the shitty stuff to people that don't weigh a lot. Like Nixon got some trucks from me from one of those boards. And I'm glad, because those trucks will actually work good for him. And he actually got good factory trucks for his size. They're good. And the wheels that came with it are good because the skins were burned off, and they're really good urethane tires. So, but he ended up, I forget what happened. His board somehow or another warped out. So whatever I did with that whole idea, kind of had to go to another board. So he put those trucks, I believe, on another board. But yeah, anyway, we're not talking about skateboarding, are we? Yeah, I guess we are a little bit, but no, we'll move on. Just trying to explain what was up, I mean, most of my wrecks are slow. I don't think I can, I don't know if I've had a super fast wreck yet. And matter of fact, I haven't. Not a super fast wreck, no. Like fast for me, which would be like fucking 40 miles an hour, anything above that. That would be a fast wreck. I haven't had a fast wreck yet. So that means I can skateboard good at higher speed. You know, when I'm going low speed, I'm trying to pay attention to weird shit like, you know, probably four ways and stuff like that. My attention's constantly diverted. Look, when you're riding a longboard, you know, downhill, you also got to realize that the professionals, they don't just pick any roads. They pick roads where they know they're not going to have people backing out into them. However, once in a while, they don't do those roads. Like the guy who did Berkeley just recently, there's fucking cars everywhere coming in and out of traffic, pulling out. I don't know if any were pulling out of driveways, but there was so much traffic. And then, you know, I was afraid he was going to get killed. And then another guy was doing Laguna, and that's the same as Josh Newman going down in Southern California. Laguna and or Josh Newman going down in Southern California. It's just like there's freaking driveways all over the place. That means you almost have to put notices out to all the homes. Please do not pull your car out today. If you agree to this, please, here's the petition. We're trying to do this so that this skateboarder can go down this road. No, I mean, how else is he going to go down there? I didn't see in many videos people pulling out of their driveway. Of a lot of these guys are in those areas where there's plenty of neighbors. So many neighbors, you would wonder, why did he get so lucky now? One motherfucker pulled out of their driveway. I mean, because that shit happens all the time. I dodge that shit. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens often enough to where to make a video of somebody going down like Laguna, man, you better know that that might happen. At least a 50-50 chance of somebody pulling out of their driveway. So, I mean, I don't even know how sometimes you make the videos so and make them go through so good, because you know normally people do that shit, and there's dumb drivers. See, I would like to see in future longboard videos where they do the clips of all the stupid ass motherfuckers that you know, fuck up the skateboarding runs and shit, like bloopers, because not necessarily the wrecks, but just the people. You know, I guess they may come with it, but just the people that fucking come out in the road and just sit there and block the entire fucking road. Those cocksuckers, you know, those motherfuckers. Yeah, you can still try to get around them because the car doesn't usually fucking go from 2 lanes all the way to the other one unless it's a goddamn bus or something. But once in a while it does because it's a motorhome or some shit. So when you're longboarding downhill, you got to realize that shit. These things do happen. You don't see them on the camera on the YouTube channels because I guess they just want to show you a clean video, somebody going down the highway. But in truth of fact, when you're practicing something like this, even what I'm doing in the neighborhood streets, it's dangerous. It's not that much. It's not that long. It doesn't take long to get down it, but it's dangerous. Anyone could pull out. I mean, I can't tell you how many times cars and or golf carts have pulled out. I at least wrecked on one where a golf cart pulled out. You know, and I was going somewhat fast. And I slid a long way, you know, like I slid like 20 feet on my elbows and my knees, but I had the pads on. And when they pulled out, they obviously, you know, they weren't even paying attention. They didn't even pay attention to pulling out. Like it could have been a car coming and they wouldn't have known. That's what you call a boozer, man. When you see people pulling out and they're not even looking to see if cars are coming, that's a fucking boozer, man. He was in a golf cart, this guy. And I know for a fact, he's one of those motherfuckers who drinks on and off all day and golfs. That's what this mindset is that pulled out of his driveway. One of those motherfuckers who sits there and fucking drinks on and off all day and then fucking just, you know, when he willy-nilly doesn't hit stop signs or not. Because why? Because he's in a golf cart. And I don't have to. I'm in a golf cart or some shit. No, bitch, you have to still look to see if cars are coming. And as a matter of fact, I start to wonder sometimes that asshole did it on purpose. Maybe he saw that I was already coming down and decided to back up into the goddamn street. So that's the kind of people you get when you're skateboarding. Anyway, luckily, I didn't have any injuries to my higher speed crashes, just a slow speed crash. And it was my fault. You know, it was my fault. Now I'm gonna smoke some goddamn weed. I know for a fact there's no embers in that because the pipe hasn't been smoked out of for like, I don't know, good half hour. But yeah, we'll double check later. I don't want to dump it there. This shit's got seeds in it. Ow! Ow. But it's good weed. Gets me nice and stoned. Yeah, so when you got a boozer in a golf cart, a lot of times they're pulling in and out of places, not hitting stop signs, and they make a lot of people wreck. They're boozers. They're golf cart fucking boozers. That's what I call them. They fucking roam back and forth in their golf cart, and fucking shit at the golf course, station, so they don't waste their septic tank. And then they may eat a sandwich there for lunch. But they're boozing all day long, and they drive back and forth in this little private community like little faggots. And that's what I don't like about those motherfuckers. Fucking straight up golf cart boozers. That's what I call them. Fucking faggots. I wanted to beat that guy's ass, but I'm like, you know what? Because I didn't injure myself on that. Well, I did. No, I didn't really injure myself on that crash. But that was the only time I had a high-speed crash from a golf cart. But I'll never forget it. I could have been going a lot faster, so it could have been worse. But I didn't get injured, really. I just slid on my elbow pads and my knees. And I had my helmet on that day. So even if my head hit, it was fine. But normally I wear my helmet, and that's what happened on that particular shit is I forgot my helmet. Well, I didn't forget it. I just said, I was a lazy day. I didn't want to grab it, and that's what happened. It was one of those lazy days where I was just like, I don't want to get my helmet. Fuck my helmet. I have my elbow pads and my knee pads. That's good enough. And that's what caused, usually that's when you wreck. A lot of times, for whatever reason, it's almost like, built-in lesson, guaranteed if you don't have your helmet on. So always, and when the guys go on YouTube and do it with no helmet and no pads, that's just for eye candy so they can get more, attention. And that's good. I don't disagree with that. I don't think I would do it. I just wear pads. It's not going to slow me down enough to worry about it. You can pick up a few integers of speed without pads if you're a skinny little dude, like a lot of them are. You can't look at too many longboarders, and even if they're tall, they're lanky. They're not really muscular or anything. So you got to realize that a lot of the skateboarders don't want to be too wide. They don't want to be bodybuilders on skateboards. I guarantee you that. Because then you're fucking talking about major issues when you fucking come down. Yeah, you have a lot of meat, but a lot more road rash to burn. That's, meat to burn is on the road rash is how to put it. And not only that, but you got all that extra weight, it might be, and it's not fat, it's muscle, very important shit. So you don't want to be like kind of muscular as a skateboarder, even though I got some muscles, they're toned way down because I don't work out. And the big lanky skateboarders, they look the part of a skateboarder because they don't gain too much weight. They know damn well that's going to cause problems. Trying to maintain the weight of a train, it's a similar mindset. Shit don't want to stop when you got all this weight, so the less weight, the better always. Now that's why they don't wear pads as well, because the less bulk, maybe a little faster. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not exceptionally enamoring. I'm not exceptionally enamoring, but I talk my game. Yeah, and shit like that. And I take aspirin. Chewables. What do you take? Take 4 chewables. When I was growing up, I don't even remember chewable aspirin. Do you, bitch? Because you don't talk. You're in here, but you don't talk, so I called you bitch. Oh, well, sue me. Give me a fucking like while you're in here, bitch. I don't know who you are. Come in my stream or come in the live stream and then you just sit there. We got fucking butt plug in your ass or some shit. You know what I mean? Oh, what do you know? I must have given myself a like. What do you know? I must have just given myself a like. What do you know? Maybe I got one. Yeah. What do you know? Maybe I'll give myself 2 likes because I got 2 accounts. What do you know? Give myself a second like. What do you know? There we go. Just gave myself 2 likes. What do you know? Switch account back to my normal one. You know, because I'll fucking do that. If you come punk ass motherfucker come in my stream and don't give me a like, bitch, I'll fucking give myself a couple likes. Yeah, these aspirins just turn my teeth orange. That's what color they are. God damn, they just turn my teeth orange. Yeah, I pissed them off. Whoever was waiting back there in my live stream, I pissed them off. When I said what I said, because I speak the truth. Come in my live stream, don't be a faggot. That's all I gotta say. Don't come in my live stream like a faggot. Because I'll make you out to be a faggot. You know, if you come in my live stream and don't say anything, kind of like a faggot. But if you start talking, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna cuss you out. Who knows? Maybe it's somebody else that came in. You know, somebody else. I'll just say, okay, whatever. I'll forget all about it. Until then, you're a faggot if you don't say anything on a live stream. You're a faggot. How do you like them apples? Take it up the ass, you fag. Damn, I can't believe this thing's got such good batteries. Yeah, take it up the fucking ass, you homo. Come in my fucking live stream and just sit there like a little bitch. You're a faggot.
In Banning, California, there was, located in the Sun Lakes Village shopping center, a Payless shoe source that was rumored to be haunted. Sadly, the store was recently permanently closed, but in its day, the location was said to play host to a phantom boy. The first time I became aware of this story was in Charles Raymond Dillon's 2004 book, Those Pesky Spooks. In it, he offers a short account of a ghost child that had been seen by employees in the break room at the back of the Payless store. The entity was said to appear just as the store was opening, and then again just before it closed. Its presence was so alarming that some employees had quit days after starting. There are numerous variations on just who this young boy might have been. The most popular theories suggest that he was the ghost of a kid that had come to the store years earlier with his mother.
Yikes.
And had picked out a pair of shoes that his mother ultimately declined to purchase. Apparently, he was so upset that he ran out of the store and into the parking lot, where he was struck by a car. He succumbed to his injuries. Soon after this, his ghost began to appear around the store, usually
It's okay,
in the break
boo-boo.
room. Sometime later, the story was updated as people familiar with the area believed that the ghost was actually a young man who had disappeared back in the 90s and who was later found murdered near the then current location of the store. On September 20th, 2009, the website Inside the Inland Empire published an article on the case. though the site did not receive any comments from users beyond the usual snark. Though in 2012, several people came forward to discuss their own encounters at that Payless shoe store in Banning. Curiously, 2012 was also the year that Sean Mosley discussed the case in his book, Haunted Places in California, Volume 1. One witness described how on November 6, 2012, they had opened the store and found something odd in the office. I went into the office and found the office chair taken apart and upside down. Wheels were off, back was off. Another employee described that the store was actually haunted by two entities. Not only do we have a little boy that runs into the backroom bathroom, there is also reports that an older female walks into the store. We greet her, and when we go check back on her, we don't find her. This has happened to me twice, once in the first week I started working there, and the second time when an associate and I were closing the store. Other commenters pointed out that Banning was teeming with phantoms. Ghostly apparitions have been sighted not only at Payless, but at the group home on Allen Street next to the Baptist Church, as well as the area hospital. The website Backpackerverse, as recently as 2019, had updated the story. The site noted that previously, most of the encounters were non-visual, more of a feeling, though in recent years, employees had actually begun seeing the young boy, and it was not a pleasant sight. I have to wonder if the sudden spike in sightings had something to do with the fact that the store would soon be closing permanently. Backpackerverse actually managed to track down some employees and shoppers who had witnessed the young man, and what they described seeing was like something out of a horror movie. Anna, a 54-year-old beauty salon owner who lived in the area and shopped at Payless, recalled encountering the ghost boy. Seeing him was the single most awful experience of my life. I was in the store one evening, trying to make up my mind on a pair of slip-ons, and it was getting close to closing. I remember thinking that I'd better hurry up and make up my mind about what I was going to buy, so I could get out of the store and let the poor folks who worked there go home. I bent down to take a closer look at one of the boxes, and just as I pulled the lid off, his head came up through the box. I was so terrified that I didn't even scream, just stood there like the world's biggest dope looking at this thing. He didn't look like a little boy in the prime of his life. He looked like he had been dead and not preserved for hundreds of years. He was still a little boy, but he was somehow also old.
Okay, so this is boring. I hate ghost stories, so I thought he was going to talk about a UFO in this one, but he didn't. Yeah, ghost stories are boring to me. I get bored from a ghost story in no time, unless I feel like there's some truth to it. Like, I actually feel like there's some tenability to it. I'm much more of a UFO story kind of guy. I don't feel I am gullible, but some people would think I am just because I'm into it, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, once in a while somebody tells me something, like I've had a kind of what might be considered a ghost circumstance a couple of times. But I look at it like I have different viewpoints on it. So like if you were saying something, and not that I have to have you say something already in my chat, but if I was to respond to somebody said, well, then what do you think of ghosts? I'd be like, well, I believe in entities, not ghosts. I believe entities can take on personable energy fields and reclaim what was once maybe a human, and can hijack the personalities within him. And some are just entities in separate completely, like oil and water, from our intellect, and do their own thing with their own interests. And of course, they do not look the part. They look like something ball of light or something. Sometimes, though, you got to realize that those are like more like probably the AI or sentient computer is controlling a robotic light to see what's going on here, here, and here. It might actually appear as a light to people, but it's their way of doing things. Sometimes You know, you got to realize, though, even though it's remote, it's intelligent still. So even like a drone, it's still you know, the drone itself is not smart, but whatever's handling it is. So there you go on that. So you guys can ask me stuff. I'm better than any like. So some people claim that they're the acoustic records and stuff like that. Some people will claim like the guy in Canada that says he can gain access to the acoustic records and all this shit. It's all bogus, right? All that shit's bogus. You know, who knows? Maybe he's got good intuition. He intertwines it with some bullshit called the acoustic records. Okay. Now, me personally, I'm just intuition, period. I don't come all along with any particular vantage point or anything like that. If you ask me a question, I could probably answer it in the most respectable way, but you might not believe it. You might not believe what I tell you. That's easy to guess. I mean, I'm very good at also gauging people's responses. Like I can almost gauge what your response will be before it happens, because I know this person will just think I'm crazy, and I already know that. So I'm like, well, then how can you present it so it doesn't sound crazy? Kiss ass and be a professor that only takes does stuff that will get a grant, and then yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to become some professor that is goaded to go in certain directions for the what his career. No, that's exactly what Tesla did not want to do, yet it happened. Okay, sometimes the most smart are the ones that are, you know, also the ones that are taken down the quickest. And you know, even though Einstein was supposedly super duper smart, I don't know, certain things about Tesla seemed even smarter, at least on the technological edge side. Yes, nuclear weapons was beyond a little bit too much, because when you start bringing in the, but at the same time, it was going to happen, whether it was Einstein or not. Fusion and reactors and stuff like that. But you know, that was going to happen whether it was Einstein or not. Okay, the Germans were already working on that without Einstein. All right, the Germans were already working on a fucking fusion reactor and a fucking nukes before Einstein. So yeah, Einstein was smart, but you know, it was true. We were already going in that direction, and we just happened to have one quick, you know, situation where, and you got to remember, wasn't Einstein originally from like Hungary or some shit? I forget where he's from, but and then he transferred here because we realized he's too smart. So I think that's how it went. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a historian on Einstein. Just understand this. I'm not a historian on Einstein. I don't even know where he's fucking born. But I think it was like fucking Hungary or some weird ass Eastern European or some shit. I don't know. But the point is this: I don't think he was, you know, oh, he's German. I mean, Jewish, I think, right? Einstein, that's German. Yeah, Jewish. I mean, so yeah, I think he was from Hungary. I'm gonna look into that right now. I'll fucking find out right now. Where was Einstein born?
Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, Germany.
Okay, so he's Jewish, but he was born in Germany. So there you go. There's the key right there. The Germans already had a lot of the paperwork done. By the time we got a hold of, we snatched them. You know, I knew that we did that. America is very well known for that shit. We snatched the fucking scientists from Germany, Nazi Germany as well. I mean, look at that. Von Braun, the rocket guy. I mean, we snatched everybody after that war. We took them all. I mean, yeah, Russia took some too. Russia took some too. And Russia's got good info. I mean, I wouldn't be sure who's better right now, America or Russia or China, as far as UFO technology or other extraterrestrial type vehicle technology. It's a draw, but I actually feel we have been the leaders in it for a long time. We were probably on UFOs as soon as we put on the masquerade that we weren't and told everybody they were seeing swamp gas. We were already fucking picking up UFOs that were falling down and crashing. And so has Russia. Who is back engineered more successfully is the question. Was it Russia? Was it China? Was it us? That's kind of up in the air. Yeah, we want to say that we did it, but in truth, we're probably connected to an outward entity at least by 3 ways, because we're the 3 biggest countries with our most technological countries to speak of, I guess, or advanced societies. Um, yeah, it's it's kind of easy to figure out. I mean, I don't think Brazil is one of them. Okay, I'm talking about fucking straight up China, Russia, America. That's it. And I don't even know how many countries are in the world don't care, because some are small. They don't even have an output. They don't even fucking have an output to be worried about. So we got the biggest air force here, and that should be a clue that we probably have an extended edge on a lot of other, and possibly the entire world as far as technology. But we're communicating between 2 different kind of humans, I think, and those humans are translating. Well, not translating, but they're only divvying out what they think we can handle, and then when they find out there's something here that we got that they weren't able to protect from us getting, then they try to, they send their own agents. I guess you'd call them MIB. They send their own agents to find out what's going on, because they do have their own AI system in every human, so they really know. I already know what's going on, but they send those guys to, if they need to, take photographs, stuff like that. Certain things that could be are needed because it's a little too much evidence, and a lot of them are government MIBs, and the government, and they probably use the government MIBs more than their own MIBs. The fake ones, the robot ones that look fucked up and shit. The reason why I think the extraterrestrials, MIBs, have that feature of kind of like oddball characteristics, not like the movie, but oddball characteristics, possibly robotic, slowing down while they're talking but not losing the tempo of the speech, is a clue that also they are also on some kind of limited time battery. It's just meant to get the word out, or grab something they need or whatnot. And that's it. And they're actually designed to fail quickly because I think because they're leftover robots. They don't actually have good working, functioning batteries and stuff like that. I know it sounds funny. But that is my belief, that they're actually like way old fucking robots. And the reason why they do that is because they can't send the real good shit down here in case it gets collected up somehow. Because that shit's more like Iron Man, we are, well, as far as high tech, I mean, it's not junk, or it's superhero shit. We can't have that. If we were to get our hands on that, it would be a pandemonium down here. So they send us garbage robots from their way long past that they keep operating, but maybe they don't have the old batteries they used to make for them anymore, and so they just charge them until they fucking just do the job, and that'll be good enough. If it does the job, that's all that matters. It's their kind of mentality. It's like, we don't need it to look just like a human. If it doesn't, I don't care anyway. Just make sure it fucking goes get those photos, or make sure it questions that person about the circumstance, because we don't know exactly who was there at the time or whatnot. They have their own intelligence capabilities, and sometimes it's kind of odd the way they do it because of the different kinds of extraterrestrials there are. Some extraterrestrials probably use real humans to do work, but they're just not that advanced inside. They're just like us. They're just their form of clone or whatnot, and robot as well. But if the humans were to get a hold of them, they wouldn't see anything unusual about that biology. They would just fucking flake it off and be like, "Oh, nope, just a normal human." So, but it had a little extra knowledge than it should have. So somehow or another, that human was able to do this, that, and the other. They'll figure that shit out, but they won't be able to say the human is different. So there's different kinds of MIBs agents and government MIBs as well, and because they're coming from different kinds of UFO circumstance. Like for instance, the ones that have the shitty MIBs, those are I think they're from the homeless UFOs. They don't have the same technology they were availed to at one time, so they use these really old fucking robots. And the reason why they're doing the intelligence is because they're trying to protect their own environment here on Earth or other planetoids in the system here. they're not able to get out of the solar system because they're not allowed. And their UFO technology has been downgraded so they can't. And also, their robots and whatever they do have that can come in here and interact, they only use them as double agents to see what the other extraterrestrials have given us in return. So they're actually doing a little snooping. That's what I think is going on. And that's why the MIBs, for a lot of times, seem like they're fucking barely function. They're functionable, but then they look like they're starting to wear out, or it's obvious they're a robot. And that's why. And of course, these extraterrestrials don't exactly have, they're not coming from our vantage point. So if they present a robot to you, it's probably going to have obvious errors in all over it, because these creatures don't understand the very fine-tuned things that make us up, that actually to make us look human. So they wouldn't know certain characteristical features, and they might present a human that doesn't even look like it's Italian, Chinese, white, black, or Brazilian, or anything. I mean, whatever color it is. But they could send it down, and it wouldn't be any of those feature wise. You would see features that totally look foreign, and you'd be like, "What's with that? That thing doesn't look like any." And the reason why is because they make their own shit. They don't care how much it looks like a human. They just want it to look human enough for you to, and they want you to be a little spooked by it. So that's why they don't work so hard to make their certain robots look. Plus, they don't have the equipment down here on this planet to fucking do it. So they're using really old fucking technology. Yeah, that's what I think. So I say what I'm gonna say. That's it. Wow. Well, the skies are getting clearer. Been getting clearer for many days now, so it's good. I actually think one of the people that may be in my fucking live stream here that's not talking may even be government related. So let's just let's put my cards where I think they should be, and let them know as well that I may have a good hand here. Okay? Because I'll fucking know if somebody is over there that is watching me for those reasons. Because I'm going to say something a little too, I don't know, personable that maybe they don't like. Yeah. So I fucking say it all on my shit, and I don't care if anyone comes in the chat or not, because when it's all over, they'll watch it. They'll watch it anyway, because they know I fucking say some shit, and it could be possibly true. I mean, I've already told you what I think the coronavirus. They're counting us like fucking sheep right now, in a different kind of way, setting us up for AI and all that shit. And it's pretty obvious when they tell you they try to reduce the social interaction. It's pretty obvious. And it's it's probably for Bill Gates. He's not paying for it directly, probably, but he's all behind it, and he's supporting all and invested in it. Covertly invested in the inoculations. Best thing you could ever do is never get them to yourself. Best thing you could ever do is not get the inoculation. God, I look kind of ugly there. Yeah, my schnoggin is pretty big. I mean, my hair is a little fucking weird. I don't know. I think I lost a shitload of hair. My schnoggin is big. See, my fucking nose is kind of big. It's all right though. I mean,
I'll live with it. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I say what I'm going to say, and if you don't want to play, that means you don't talk. You're probably a fucking government goon. Wouldn't doubt it a bit. This guy might say something too radical, too weird. We got to watch him, make sure he doesn't decide he's going to go get all upset. Stupid shit like that. Stupid shit like that. I've been upset for a long time, but I know what's up. That's the difference. No, there's this one guy I used to watch. He goes off the edge like me, but his whole topic range, a lot different. His whole topic range, a lot fucking different, okay? His name was the Dimensionalist. I don't know what happened to him. See what he's done lately. 4 months ago, he hasn't done anything. So I guess he's in jail again. Little Mike used to be on lockdown because he was in lockdown on the show Lockdown. His name is Little Mike, okay? His name is Little Mike. And but really he calls himself the Dimensionalist. The Dimensionalist. But he hasn't done anything in 4 months. I think he got arrested again. He's been arrested a few times. Little Mike has been arrested a few times. So it's probably likely he got arrested. Little Mike probably did something he wasn't supposed to do. I don't know. Possibly maybe somebody else caused problems, got him in jail. I think that's what supposedly happened last time. His neighborhood, he got in a fight with somebody in his neighborhood and they caused him problems and he ended up in jail from that. Now, this time he may have ended up in jail or maybe just decided to fucking drop his YouTube channel. So people do that. People do that. And then, I don't know. I really shouldn't comment. I don't know him enough, but I kind of sometimes wonder because he doesn't say anything. Like me, I didn't say anything when I quit my YouTube channel, so it's really not that mysterious. Think about it. It's not really that mysterious. Yeah, it's a fucking badass bump. A fucking badass bump. And then that fucking collarbone, man, that ain't no joke either. Oh, shit. My worst angle on my face is probably that one. I hate that angle. That angle is way better, man. I love that angle. But that angle, no, man. It's because my nose is broken. It just looks all fucked up. I don't know. Fucking, everybody has their pet peeve about how they look. Now, can I make it go away? That look? Oh, yeah. I can make myself look handsome from that side. I just have to fucking do certain shit. I can make myself look right from that side. It's not like all over. You know what I mean? Like everyone out there that really thinks they're good looking, maybe they are, but it's in their own mind. I mean, I've seen people that supposedly think like whatever those people's names are that I don't know that whatever twins. They used to do videos and stupid shit, and they're like half black. I don't know, but if you see them, one time I was watching them, and they turn their fucking lips into like an asshole. And I don't know, it's because he was just going, ooh, or something like that. It just looked like a fucking asshole. I was like, you know what? That person just went from a reasonably decent, good-looking genetic specimen of a human being to a fucking somebody with an asshole for a mouth. I froze it on that. I was like, that's gross. Now, I mean, I have seen other people who do that though. Like on buses, ooh, and I swear to God, it looks like a fucking asshole. When all said and done, it just looks exactly like a fucking asshole. And it's like, man, that probably wouldn't be a face that I would make if I had, if my lips did that. But my lips aren't big enough, I guess, enough to make something look like an asshole like that. But I guess that's about as close as I'm going to get. My mouth is small, but it doesn't look like a fucking asshole when I go, ooh. It's still got a mouth on it. You know what I mean? So I don't know how people make their mouth do that and then make a perfect circle in the middle, little teeny circle, like a fucking asshole. I don't know how they do it. especially when they got a mouth twice the size of mine. How the fuck did you just do that? That's what I want to know. And also, it's all lighting, you know, it's all lighting how you look. You know, like right here, this is not good lighting. Any director would tell, no, I don't like that lighting. We're gonna have to put a you know, some ultraviolet. I mean, not ultraviolet, fluorescent lighting to the on this side. Yeah, light up his face a little more here. You know, I mean, that's how it is in reality. Now, do I like a lot of directors? No, but I do like the director to Dirty Harry. I thought that movie was awesome. The director, if you go look up the director to Dirty Harry, the guy's pretty cool. He's probably, I don't know. I just like the way he did that movie. It was low budget, you know, back then. I mean, you could only make a movie a certain way back then. The same with Vanishing Point. Those movies came from the same era. And the way they proceeded with movies back then wasn't with the kind of special effects we have nowadays. And it's just so interesting. And just the way they had to somehow do the psychological shit, even though it was all about, you know, the face. Later, you know, when you get past the 50s and 60s, they started to integrate better acting styles into acting. And you could tell that people, it was more of a psychology going on in the facial expressions. And if you look at Jeremiah Phillips, you can see the same thing. He's overdoing that feature with his stuff. If you look at Jeremiah Phillips on YouTube, he does the same thing. But he's over exaggerated on it all. So I mean, he could probably be a really good actor because he knows how to fucking hit those facial profiles when he's talking. Jeremiah Phillips, fucking a genius. And the good thing about Jeremiah Phillips is he really don't care about his skits. He picks them to make them look as straight up laughable ghetto shit you ever saw happen ever. And you know, it's funny because he'll pick these like abandoned buildings behind him, but you can tell, man, these are like Joliet, Illinois. These aren't fucking East St. Louis. You can't even find those houses anymore. Well, I guess you could. Yeah, just go a little outward a little. But they got rid of most of those kinds of shitty houses because they had to put a train through there, and they demoed it all. But Jeremiah Phillips is fucking genius with facial expressions. I mean, you can tell when he has to hit a facial expression. It's not willy-nilly. It's like he has to hit that face. And if he doesn't hit that face at a certain exact time, the skit will be ruined, more or less. So, like, once in a while, you see him all super hyper, and then he'll blow into this super count money thing, like, you know, and just for a split second, and then look back over at his friend who's talking to him, acting like he's still interested in what he's talking about. Jeremiah Phillips is a genius that way. You know, he does the facial expressions on an exaggerated level. If you go look at him right now, I mean, I could put some on right now. Jeremiah Phillips fucking makes me laugh, man. Hardcore. He did this one a day ago. Look at this. Hey, man. All right, here we go. The fuck is this? Oh, this is it.
What's up, G? Huh? Yeah, I'm in the trap right now. Come get it. Hell yeah! Nigga, I'm picking up them nickel sacks right now. All seeds. Huh? Yeah, pull up, bro. I'll give you 3 for the 5. I give you so much Reggie. Can't even it in a swisher. And if it's really Dookie Brown, and you know you my nigga, don't come with that $4. I'm pulling out my trigger. All the loud man be hating on me, cause they know I'm that nigga. Got that station wagon on drum, with a fresh paint in the speakers, and I hop out with a tall tee, so the balls and read my sneakers. Can't post on my Instagram, cause the loud man be snitching on the stand pointing at the regiment, like there go that nigga.
It's funny as fuck. When I first saw this, I laughed my ass off.
Like loud man is who they mess with. When the regiment, they niggas, cause the same chick say she kicks around. Tripping, Savannah mixed with the cranberry, cause every time I wake up in the morning.
Did you see how he was sitting on the bike?
1, 2, 3, 4 grams.
No seat on the bike.
All these loud niggas hating, trying to knock me off my grind, but I can't let them do it. I got Reggie on my mind. I got Reggie on my mind.
Well, anyway, just to let you know, if you didn't already know, that marijuana is called Reggie in African American communities of the ghetto. Okay, so like when I used to go get it on the east side, I got some good Reggie. You know, he got some good Reggie. We all got some, but he got baby sense over there. And I'd be like, oh, really? They'd be like, for show, for show. No, but seriously, man. And then they'd be all handling, like holding chains and baseball bats. And you'd be driving over like multitudes of giant fucking 4-foot tall potholes, trying to get over to the ones with baby sense, because you're thinking you don't want no normal Reggie, right? You want some baby sense, because Reggie is like fucking... I don't know. Reggie is, to me, is warehouse weed. I don't know. That's why it's funny to me, because whenever somebody said they got Reggie, it was just fucking average fucking shit brown weed. So, when he did that, it made me laugh so hard, because I mean, I remember those days. That was a riot. I don't know how old this dude is, but he's funny as fuck.
Meditate with your screen locked. Start a free trial of YouTube Premium and unwind uninterrupted.
Let me turn this down for a second. Okay.
Good, my boy.
What's up with you, boo-boo? What you on, P. Pablo?
Man, tell me you got some Reginald Miller, man.
See, I ain't gonna even stop,
I
my
knew you
boy.
ain't had
I've been
no
waiting on the
reason.
plug to hit me all day on the beeper, you know what I'm saying? So I can go back to the store and re-up, bro. I ain't gonna stop. I'm out. Right. I already know your little nappy head stuff be so pissed when you don't leave with your product, bro. But like I'm trying to tell you, bro, as soon as he hit me up on a little beep, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that there. Oh,
That's him?
hold on.
Tell me that.
What you said? Hey, let me use up on me, boy.
Man, hell no.
Huh?
How long is y'all been back on you?
Okay, well that's him. Give me about like an hour and been back on me now. I get you together.
All
Hey,
right.
that van stinking too, bro.
Man, get out of here, bro.
Shut
You
your
got on
Charles Barkley
films
right
and
here
something.
up, bro. It's good, G. What's up with you, boo-boo?
And tell me something good.
Hey, bro, you thirsty? You came in exactly an hour, didn't you?
Man, that's what time you told me to come back.
Right. But I don't think you know like black people hours. It was gonna take like 2 or 3 days, but see, I still ain't got nothing, G. Now I had some though. I ain't gonna stunt though. You know, when I sit down and check the clarity on it, it wasn't skunky enough, G. No, see, because you don't like to smoke this regular skunk. You like to smoke Reggie skunk. You know what I'm saying? Your moniker. You don't just bro.
What are you talking about,
What
bro?
I'm trying to tell you is, give me about 30, about 35 minutes. All right, 41.
Hey, bro.
Dude, there's
Hey,
more.
bro.
There's more to this skit, but I'm not gonna play all Jeremiah Phillips shit, you know. But it's so funny. It reminds me of when I had to deal with that shit on a daily back in the day in the fucking hoods, just to get something to smoke, because we'd have a dry spell and it would last for fucking weeks. So we'd go over there and never be dry. They'd always have warehouse weed, which is also another word for it is Reggie. Now, once in a while, somebody would call it Reggie, and it would actually be decent weed. But no, Reggie is fucking just like it could be shit. It could be half-ass. It could be a little better than half-ass for mid-range weed, and that's it. It was never fucking good weed. Reggie is brown warehouse weed. That's what. And another thing about it is that they spray it. They spray it with a mild amount of formaldehyde so that if it loses its THC, it will still get motherfuckers high. So there you go. That's what's up with that. Back in the day, they used to fucking now it wasn't always sprayed, you know, and some of the time when they did it, they didn't always get it all over it, you know. But for the most part, yeah, they would get it. It would be warehouse weed. It may have already been sprayed with a light amount of formaldehyde. So you know, later on they may dip, you know, a little stronger. So you dip it right straight there in front of you. But no, they used to spray that with fucking formaldehyde. And check this out. The guy who ran East St. Louis at the time, Carl Officer, he owned fucking mortuaries. So where were they getting their formaldehyde? That's all I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Where were they getting the formaldehyde? Well, now we know. Common sense. He probably was like Rush Limbaugh dealing in oh, that's a crazy looking spider. Oh my god. Hold on a second. I gotta check the spider out. Whoa. Fucking this spider is too crazy looking, man. Oh my god. Maybe I can get that on film. God, I'm trying to knock it off, but oh, there it goes, like Spider-Man. Now it's pulling itself up. Or it's just staying there. Just like Spider-Man. Oh my god, that thing was cool. Oh. Ow. Ow. Fucking spider was fucking awesome, man. Well, first I didn't know. I thought it was on this side of the sheet that's blowing in the wind, but no, it was on the other side. But then I knocked it from the sheet. I went like that, and it fell off. But it, like Spider-Man, put a line in, and it was hanging from my balcony, swinging, and just. I guess it didn't want to move right away, so it's safe though. It's safe. The spider is safe. So let me talk about something. Okay, so I know this is probably not going to be necessarily, I don't know, touch and go. I guess it's a good point to make. Nomadic fanatic picked a cat up in the evening, or maybe it was the daytime, and his cat got along with it. One of the only cats ever got along with his cat, but it was in a place that was desolate. Now he didn't point out if there was any RVs in the area other than him that I know of. Maybe he was alone, but there was nobody out there. There's no stations. There's nobody that would have a pet cat. So the obvious common sense denominator, that cat was abandoned by accident either or just on purpose. So why did he let it out at night is what everyone was freaking out about on his channel. And the reason he let it out at night is because homeboy doesn't want another cat. He really doesn't care that, you know, it got along with his cat. And look, it's not that hard to keep a cat for a little while and find out whose owner it is. I mean, if it had a chip and whatnot. So it's not that difficult, Eric. So I was upset that Eric did that and let the cat out at the time of night where coyotes and shit are out. So I was upset about that. And he's all upset at the people complaining at him. Well, it's like, yeah, you don't want to steal someone's cat, but if it's obvious that it was abandoned out of an abandoned fucking place where he was, it's you know, you fucking grab up the cat. Now, does that mean that the owners maybe accidentally let it out of their mobile home and then fucking drove or on their way back now to try to find their cat? Possibly. But in the meantime, keep it indoors until you find out otherwise. That's simple. And talk to everyone around you. That's how I get resolved. Now, one time a friend of mine lost his cat, and I could tell just the way they were. These are the kind of people that occasionally their cat gets out and then they just let it either get lost completely or they just hopefully it'll come back type of mentality. What I will do is I will say, where was the last time you saw the cat? And then I'll do the homework and I'll find their cat. They'll always be so thankful. And it'd be like, no, it's okay. I am very good at shit like that. I fucking when somebody loses a pet, I'll find their pet. I'll fucking find it. You know, now it doesn't mean I'll still do that to this day. Go after other people's lost cats or dogs. Not so much. But if somebody is a neighbor and I'm friendly with them and Yeah, I'll miss the cat too, probably because it probably had come over before and I had some form of bond, as in touching the cat. Well, right away, I know I'm going to find this cat, or this dog or whatever. And especially when these days they got chips in them. So you don't panic and or not panic or just let a cat out at night, though. That feature is something you should never do because you don't know if that cat was an indoor cat. And then it just escaped a motorhome that was parked in the same way he was at this place. So, yeah, I think I'm losing some hair back here. It just looks a little less dense. Because I know here, I'll go show you the hair that came out of my head. And it wasn't from here, it was over here. I bounced like a basketball. My head bounced. Went bam, 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 like that. Hold on. Oops. Sorry, Five. You all right? All right. Sorry about that, buddy. Oops. Must have spilled a little blood out of here. Spilled some blood. Oh, I don't want you to eat that. Nope, I don't. Definitely don't want you to eat that, Five. So it's going down there. All right. Come here. I'm not sure, but it came out when I came home after the wreck. It ended up when I went in the bathtub and started washing my hair. That's what came out. So I lost hair from that shit. It just doesn't look as thick right there. But yeah, usually it looks a little thicker right there. But it looks like I'm missing hair. I hit here and here and here. I might have bounced 4 times on my head, literally. But that's okay. I'm a survivor and I got a hard head. What can I say? Right, Boo Boo? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, home dog. Here's another thing I can't stand is when somebody says, I'm cutting an album, and then an album never comes out, or I'm traveling all over the country with my band, and they never fucking travel all over the country with their band. I can't stand that. It gets on my nerves to no end. Yeah, that's something that gets on my nerves to no fucking end. Now, me, I purposely made some shit and said albums on the music I make that's non copyright, but it's all free. So it's not copyright music. So I have a right to call it an album because it's a free non copyright album and it's only accessible by coming to my channel. So yeah, I do fucking do that from time to time, but it's because I'm producing non copyright for no money making on YouTube. You could use anything if you were to find a song you did like out of my stuff. Maybe if you were to listen to 40 of my songs and said, you know what, out of those 40 I just listened to from his music and just from phone apps, I like these 5. These ones I do like. He did a good job with these ones. That in itself is mutually acceptable behavior. If you're a musician and you do that to someone, it's probably because you know that they're doing stuff that's interesting. You just don't know if you like that particular style he's using there. And you move on to the next to evaluate the next. Now, most of the time, it's probably because you have a certain particular interest. Me personally, I like to see people that are not doing stuff that sounds musically inclined and get better, but that takes that takes me coaching them on music. And I don't really want to coach anyone on music either, but I will do it if somebody needs my help. Right, boo boo? Right. Oh, my dog looks so cute. Let me show you my dog. If you got someone else that can tune in right now, tune them in, because look at my dog. Oh, fuck. I can't do this. Not with one arm. I can't do it with one arm. Sorry. I was going to try to grab the computer and turn it around. No, it's not going to work. So, sorry. False advertising, I guess. So anyway, yeah, if somebody says they got an album and then they give me some CD, I'm usually like, that's a joke. Who buys CDs or albums these days? Nobody. Everybody gets fucking free music. Even when it is copyrighted, they fucking get it free. I mean, fuck, man. They sued Napster for their bullshit, but look at what this going on today. Very hard in the music industry to make money. Not too many people going out to music stores anymore because of COVID. And if you follow the Democrats, more businesses are going to squander. And yes, they're going to try to point it at somebody else other than them trying to push their agenda. So every time you see a mask, think of that. Think of the people that are pushing you out of business, the Democrats. Thank you. Have a good day. I mean, shit, bitch. Are you fucking stupid? They're the one pushing it, The Republicans are backing off this whole COVID bullshit. All right, just remember that. They know instinctively this is a fucking scheme. Like a fucking criminal comes to your house, says he's got a license to do the work. You're probably either he provides a forged one or you don't ask for a fucking license. There you go. You get what you deserve if that's the case, okay? Take on the mask everywhere you go and try to socially distance and act like you don't want to get a disease because guess what? You have been behaviorally modified. That's what's up. And if you're sitting there worried about fucking, women's rights and you're a guy, then you're a fucking weirdo, okay? Because you know what? We all got decent rights right now. And matter of fact, some people are allowed to kill motherfuckers. Yeah, they're babies or embryos, but they're still allowed to kill them. And I don't agree with it. Guess what? We got lots of rights, women included. So don't fucking bitch about women's rights, bitch. You fucking homo. You fucking homo. If you're fucking worried about women's rights and you're a guy, you're a faggot. That's all there is to it. Look, women got rights here. Go over to Iraq and try to tell them that shit. Bitch, get the fuck out of our country. It's one thing to sit there and harp on something, but when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, King Cobra JFS, shut the fuck up, okay? That's why he in particular doesn't have a girlfriend. Because he thinks he has to fucking act like women are all righteous shit and that all their fucking assholes have to be cleaned with robots and whatnot. No, fuck you. They your over sexualized vantage points and shit. Yeah, of course. Duh. Nobody needs rocket science needs to know that shit. Why don't you fucking try to act like a real man and learn how to actually shoot a fucking semi-automatic? Instead of a goddamn 22 rifle, you faggot. Shut the fuck up. Like he doesn't know jack about women, man. He's sitting there giving advice on fucking relationships. He needs to go back to fucking school for his YouTube channel. That shit's stupid. Anyway, this live stream's gone. Later.